Alright, we're back in our shop. In our Shelter Logic insulated shop. It's full of smoke right now. I just had a flame up trying to cut a piece. Trying to cut this thing right here. Had a bit of a flame up issue. No big deal. I got a camera. So what I do is I run my camera, I watch my machine. If anything happens, I run back in here. I go in the nice warm house. It's not the nicest in here with all the smoke, and I don't have any heat really going because of all the smoke. But here's what I've been working on. Here's my next project. So I will go over here. So you'll see there's my cabinet, my laser cabinet right there. I laser cut it, trimmed it, and I had to cut it in panels, had to cut it in pieces. But anyways, it's on casters and it's working marvelously. It's got more work to do, but I want to get for sure my next project is got to be my enclosure, because I got to take care of the smoke crap in here. So here's my enclosure. So this is the back piece of it. It's going to be a big monster. I started on the side piece. That's what that was going to be. Another piece for the side piece. And then we had the smoke out. But here's what we're doing right now. So on that thing there, I made fingers for the panels, and I didn't like it. It didn't feel strong enough. So for this one here, I went totally different. I'm going to make bow ties. And so for the bow ties, my first try was I just took the cutout that was in there, and as you can see, it's way too small because of the kerf and everything. So that was zero kerf. So then we tried a 0.01 kerf, and that was way too big. So I went half, 0.05, still too big. Then I went 0.04, 0.3, 0.2, and then finally 0.1 fits. I could probably go a little bit bigger, like maybe 0.12 or 0.15, but whatever, 0.1. So I'm going to make a bunch of 0.01 bow ties, and I'm going to fasten this thing all together. And then, yeah, so there's that, and we're going to glue it up. And it's got, for the sides, it's still got the fingers for the sides. So I'm okay with the sides. So I designed all this in Lightburn. I do everything in Lightburn. So you can see that here's my side panel, there's the bow ties, there's my vent. So I might have to redesign the vent, maybe because the too small. Like, here's what it looked like. So that's what it is right there. It's just a bunch, it was just going to go all the way around. And that was going to be my venting system, for the inlet. So that's what it looks like there. We're going to give it another run and then see what happens. I've already framed this in. So now we're just going to start it up and see what she does. So it's going to start with the ratings. That just tells me my layout of my panel. I just put a little design inside of my vent just to give it a personalization touch. I don't know if you guys know what logo that is, but I'm not going to tell you. And then cutting another panel up there. So anyways, it gets really damn smoky in here. So I can't hang out in here too much. So hopefully when it starts cutting the vent again, it doesn't catch on fire again, I'm hoping. So here we go. I think it's cutting the vent right now. Well, here we go. I really don't want to hang out in here with all that smoke. I don't know if you guys can see all that smoke going, but we'll see. So I sped it up. So I had it at 20 millimeters per second at 100%, so I sped it up to 30 millimeters a second. So let's see if that makes a difference. It hasn't caught fire yet. Still going. It caught fire when it got to the second cutout, so we'll see. We'll stick around for the second cutout and we'll get out of here. So yeah, like I said, it's set. I sped this one up. Everything else was running at 30 millimeters. Sorry, 20 millimeters per second at 100%. This one here I got running at 30 millimeters at 100%. Hopefully it doesn't catch fire. We'll see. It's probably going to catch fire right on these areas right here. Yeah. It's got a funny way of doing things. Anyways, it's getting way too smoky in here, but at the same time I'm kind of worried about what this is going to do after, since it caught fire last time. Seems to be doing better. And I changed out my spoil board. I put a fresh spoil board. My last spoil board was getting pretty charcoaly underneath. Maybe I need to get an aluminum or a steel honeycomb table. That might make it easier. It'll probably stop from charcoaling and getting fires. Yeah, that might be a good idea. But so this is where it caught fire last time. It was right around here. Not caught fire yet. Oh, but look at all that smoke building up. This is where we could have a problem. Well, yeah. Here we go. This is right where it caught fire last time, I believe. Right on this cut here. So if this doesn't catch fire here, we'll get out of the way. We'll move out of here. Got a few more to do. Couple more. Couple more. It's got 22. I got it at 22 passes. Alright. So we've moved on. So I think speeding it up from 20 to 30 millimeters might have been the trick, or it could have been put a fresh spoil board on there that wasn't so charcoaly. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna let this run, and I'll update you as I progress. Cheers. All right, so we ran into a problem here. So I glued up my panels for my enclosure for my laser cutter, and the bow ties turned out fantastic. My bow ties turned out perfect. They made the wood a lot stronger than if I had done glued up tabs. But I ran into a major problem that I just noticed now. I should have noticed before, but I didn't. Is the tabs for gluing these together right here. So these are 3mm tabs. I took the box from a 3mm box and I upscaled it, but it didn't upscale the thickness of the material. This is 1/2 inch ply, and these are 3mm tabs. 1/2 inch ply, I believe, is 13 mil, and these are only 3 mil tabs. So I cannot, when I go to stick them together like this, they won't stick together. So that is a major setback. So I could, so if you can see underneath there, there's no way. There's no grab. There's no grab on this wood. They'll never stick together. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I have two ideas. The first idea is to just recut everything, but I spent all last weekend doing that. I don't want to spend another weekend cutting all the wood out. That's a pain in the ass. It's messy, it's a crappy job. Or I could recut these tabs. I don't know how I would cut them. I don't know. I gotta think this through. If I were to cut these tabs, I'd have to cut that 10 mil, cut that 10 mil, cut that 10 mil, cut that 10 mil. It can be done. I just don't know how. Alright. This is a predicament I put myself into. And if you've been watching my channel, it is a predicament is usually what I do. And oh well, what do you do? Cheers. Alright, I think I got it figured out. So I took a jigsaw and I just cut the pockets out to make the 13 mil. Bang, bang, bang. So it's no longer laser cut precision. Now it's hand cut jigsaw precision, but I have to make do with what I got. This is not making this for sale. It's just for me, for my enclosure. So we got to figure it out. I'll show you the next step when I get there. Cheers. Alright, so here's my enclosure. Right now I'm making a vent enclosure for my enclosure. So you can see all the smoke coming out. Right now it doesn't have the vent in it yet. You can see all that smoke pouring out. That's where my vent is going to get hooked up. But I had to cut it. So here's my enclosure. There's my vent enclosure that I'm making. So it's almost done. Once she's done, I will put it together and show you how I'm going to use it. But that's my vent enclosure. Made it on light burn. And I'll show you guys when I'm done. Cheers! Alright, so I got my enclosure brackets cut out. Put a little trim in there. I cut a little hole here and here to fit my thing. I'll show you later. But that's it. I'll glue her up. I'll fit her up and show you what happens. So there it is. I laser cut out the housing, and the fan is just sandwiched in between. There's 3 pieces of 1/2 inch ply. The first 2 are glued together and screwed to the enclosure, and then the top one, those 2 rings are glued to the top one and sandwiched in between the other 2, so that fan is just sandwiched in between there. So I can just take those, there's 2 screws holding that in there, and then if I have to replace the fan, I just gotta pull those 2 screws out, and that thing's just sitting in there. And she's running right now. It's pretty quiet. We'll see. I got a 25-foot vent pipe, 4-inch vent pipe that's gonna fit right over there. And I'm gonna give it a paint job. Give it a little bit of a paint, and then I will see how it works. Cheers. Alright, so she's running right now with the fan on there, the exhaust fan. It's no smoke is leaking out of there. If I open it up, you'll see it's full of smoke. Full of smoke. So that little, see, all that smoke just came out. So that little fan, I don't know how long it'll last, but it's working good enough for now. So yeah, I got my vent hole. There's a vent hole there, and then there's little bits of, it's not airtight all around, so like I had I ran it without the fan on, the exhaust fan, and it was all coming out the bottom and everywhere, so I'm not worried about it. Like, oh, you can see a little bit of smoke coming out there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's coming, a little bit coming out there. Maybe this exhaust fan is not strong enough. Yeah, well, I'm in my shop, so I don't care, but I do not want too much smoke coming out of it. Like right now, yeah, you can see a little bit of smoke coming out of the top there. I shouldn't have any smoke coming out. If I had a proper sized fan, there'd be no smoke coming out. But that's my next move. That was my last move. My next move is I gotta make a door holder. So when I lift it up, I'm just jamming a board under there right now. I got a laser cut something to hold the door up.